Hey everyone, Oslar here from LFMMO. The purpose of this channel is to help you find the perfect MMO for you. Today we're going to be discussing the upcoming MMO by Intrepid Studios, Ashes of Creation, and doing an overview of the node system. We're going to go over node benefits and look at the zone of influence system, so stick around. Ashes of Creation is a highly anticipated MMO that is hopefully coming out next year. The game is very ambitious and includes a ton of interesting features, which a lot of people are excited for. They've given us a ton of updates, posted videos, did interviews, and even did an AMA. So that's definitely reassuring. It seems like they have a great development team over there, and we're excited to see what they come up with. One of their core systems in the game is the node system, which is what we'll be discussing today. In this video, we'll go over the basics of nodes, the benefits, and what the zone of influence is. We won't cover everything about nodes in this video, but we will do so in future videos. So let's get into it. So what are nodes? Nodes are preset points in the world, wrapped in a zone of influence and surrounded by geographical areas that change over time based off player participation. So you could think of each of these points of areas where you could do quests or gather materials. It really depends on what's going on in the particular node. I'm guessing each has its own unique story pertaining to that zone, making it feel like you're really helping develop a specific part of that world. There are going to be 103 regular node locations and 15 castle nodes for a total of 118. So for each node, there are 4 different types, and you can tell which type of node you're at by the first stage of development. You can tell which type of node it is by just looking at the NPCs. So if you see merchants, then it's an economic node. If you see guards, it's a military node. So you as a player get to decide which nodes you want to focus on. Maybe you want to build a vast army. For combat, then you can just focus on military nodes. Or you could just be super smart and just focus on scientific nodes. It really depends on what you, your friends, and the rest of the server want to focus on. So every server will be different. While the node spot is the same on every server, they will all be at different stages. The node type doesn't change based off the node, how it's advanced or not, or if it's destroyed. So for example, if you kill a military node, don't expect it to be a scientific node in the future. It's always going to be the same node type that it was from the beginning. Each node type has a superpower, otherwise known as the ultimate ability, that becomes unlocked when the node reaches level 6, the Metropolis stage. Now let's look at each of these benefits now. The first node I wanted to talk about was the Divine node. Unfortunately, the benefits for this node are unknown at this time, but if I was to guess, it'd have it to do with something maybe religious or healing related, but we'll have to follow up with more details when they actually get shared. So let's talk economic node. So once you unlock this link's superpower, economic nodes will share their auction house listings with others. I can see this as very powerful and time-saving, as you're able to get the best items up for auction and trade a lot easier with everyone else. You could create a whole network of these nodes across the world so you get the best prices without having to make the trip all the way over there. Military nodes enable bounty hunters and reduce duration of corruption. Corruption's where if you get dishonorable kills, you lose benefits of PvP, and also if you die, people could potentially loot your gear. That definitely sucks. I would assume the bounty hunter system would be hunting those people that have very high corruption. One of the benefits of having a military metropolis is something called the hero system, which they haven't explained in depth yet, but I think that includes a cross-server competition between the players. So the next one is the scientific node. Scientific nodes that unlock the Metropolis stage unlock the teleportation superpower. So I don't think I have to explain the benefits of being able to teleport between different nodes. Definitely saves you time, definitely gets you access to a lot more things. I definitely could be super powerful if you're going at war with someone, but definitely something interesting you want to do. I think that there's other scientific related things like being able to craft materials and create recipes at a faster rate. So now let's talk about the zone of influence. So every node in the game is given a purview over a predefined geographic area called a zone of influence. Player activity within the zone of influence is weighted and counted toward a particular node's advancement. So here's a quick illustration of what the zone of influence is. I actually didn't create this graph. Someone from the Ashes of Creation Wiki did, so thank you. But as you can see, there's definitely overlap in it. Obviously, I think that there's like a main node, but you still get overall credit if there's an overlap. So it's definitely interesting to know that you could be questing or gathering in a specific node, doing quests there, and it gives you credit for multiple nodes. I think one thing that's actually kind of cool is that there's going to be no spot in the world that there isn't going to be a zone of influence. So everything you're doing does contribute to something. The last thing I wanted to mention today was depending on the race that contributes the most to a specific node, that's what the buildings are going to look like. So for example, if dwarves contribute the most by doing the most quests, killing the most things, crafting the most things in that area, the buildings will look like dwarves. And what's kind of cool is there's 6 different races in the game, and they all have different building looks for all the different types of nodes. So it's cool to see later on when you enter a specific area and it's all of a specific race, you know that that specific race did the most in that specific area. Definitely going to create camaraderie and conflict between the different races, which is definitely going to have some interesting gameplay to it. So we're going to keep an eye on this game. This isn't the last thing I need to talk about for nodes, but we'll have some future videos talking about the different aspects of it. Definitely an interesting system, and additive creation definitely looks like to be one of the biggest games that's going to come out in the near future. So thanks everyone for watching.